film. You're amazing.
Thank you.
As expected, obviously. Meryl Streep's obviously a massive person to work with. Do you ever have a sort of Meryl freak out?
I guess I didn't have a freak out. I had many internal freakouts. But there was, I mean, mostly I just had freakouts when I would just suddenly, people would be in and out of rooms and stuff, and suddenly I'd find myself alone with her, and she'd be reading the paper and asking me about, had I read some book, or just having some conversation, and I was like, Joe, we're just hanging out. Yeah, we're just talking like it's normal. And that would be the moment that I'd be freaking out the most. Like, not when she's, like, performing The Last Midnight and she's, like, there as the witch and Into the Woods, and it's this epic sort of moment in my life. The points where I would be having total freakouts is, like, when she was just, like, asking me if I saw the MTV Movie Awards last night, and, like, what do you make of that Miley Cyrus? And I was like, it's just normal. Just small talk with you. It's no big deal.
So you play Cinderella in the film. Obviously, the whole point is that she goes to the ball in this amazing dress. What would be your sort of dream designer ball gown?
I mean, Colleen Atwood isn't too bad. God, if she could just dress me for the rest of my life, I would be dizzy because those corsets are no joke, but I'd look amazing. She's so talented.
So you're sort of an old hat at Sondheim now. I saw you in kind of your first film, Camp.
Yeah.
Rocket. Kind of, do you feel like you've come a long way since then, or
yeah,
back to it?
I feel like I've been doing my experience with Sondheim has gotten progressively more difficult because I did camp when I was 16, and Ladies Who Lunch is a complicated song, but it's a little bit more straightforward in terms of melody. And then I did a little night music, and I only had short bits here and there as Frederica, but a little bit more complicated, a little more kind of highbrow music, and then Into the Woods is just a beast to learn, so I feel like it was like going from like a tricycles to training wheels to just like, okay, I'm just going for it. I'm riding a bike off the edge of a cliff, and it's just happening. I feel like grateful that I had those experiences under my belt, but this was no joke.
Oh my god. So you worked with Chris Pine a lot in it. Was it distracting having him as a male counterpart?
There were a couple times that I was asking him Star Trek questions, which I think he was a little annoyed by, but he's too much of a gentleman to say that. He is so fun to look at, and I had a great time with him when we were shooting Steps of the Palace, and he had to be just frozen because you think it's just CGI that he like freezes and they like work their magic so that he doesn't have to stand there for 2 days, and he did have to stand there for 2 days for the poor monkey. And I just had such a great time with him that day. Like the idea that he just had to stand there frozen while I did all this stuff was great.
So Christmas is coming up. What do you want to see under the Christmas tree this year?
Oh boy. I want one of those spiralizers. I was just talking about this where you have a zucchini and you put it through the spiralizer and it turns it into like fake pasta, so you can trick yourself into thinking you're having pasta, kind of. A food processor and like a lemon zester. I'm trying to teach myself to cook. I can't cook for life, but I feel like if I have all the schmancy equipment, I'll be inspired and I'll be better at it, more committed, because I've got all the shiny bits that you need.
And lastly, very important question.
Yes.
What is your most used emoji?
Ooh. I do a fair bit of the embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I do, don't I? Like on that first page of the smile, the kind of blushing. Because there are lots of situations where I find myself thinking that. Thinking, oh boy, I should not be in this situation, and I have no one to blame but myself.
Are there any that you wish existed that don't?
Fingers crossed. How is there no fingers crossed?
Oh yeah.
Right? Would be so handy.
Great idea.
Ugh.
Great idea.
And like the new list of emojis that might be coming out, no sign of fingers crossed. I'm not sure what's going on there.
An angry word, a letter.
Dear emoji people.